Hello students, welcome to aimsindia online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about air, wind and cyclones. So this chapter we are discussing. In this present session, we are going to discuss about winds. Okay, let us see about winds. What are the reasons for causing these winds? Let us see this all. We already know that when air moves, it is called wind, isn't it? In the earlier sessions we have seen the moving air is called wind. Air moves from the region where the air pressure is high to the region where the pressure is low, isn't it? Air moves from the area or region where the air pressure is high to the region where the air pressure is low. This causes winds. Take a balloon. Let us try to understand this how air moves from one place to another place with these simple activities. First, let us take a balloon and let us fill it with air. If we heat it slowly, then the balloon expands. On the air inside the balloon exerts more pressure on the walls of the balloon. This is because air expands on heating and causes more pressure on the walls of the balloon inside. Okay. If the tight end of the balloon is opened now, what happens? The air from the balloon would slowly escape out, isn't it? Have you ever tried this? Take a balloon and fill it with the air and open the mouth of that balloon. Leave it. Then what happens? The blown air into the balloon will slowly escape out from the balloon. So, what is the reason for this? Inside the balloon, when you blow air into that, the pressure inside the balloon increases. And when you open the mouth of that balloon, immediately the air rushes out because outside the balloon pressure is being low and whereas the pressure inside the balloon is more. Now air moves from high pressure areas to low pressure area. This we can understand here. The greater the difference in the pressure, the faster the air moves. So as the pressure difference increases between the two areas or regions, air moves the faster movement that causes faster winds. Okay, the greater the difference between the pressure, the faster the winds moves. We still have to think why winds occur in nature, how the pressure difference that causes winds created in the nature. So here we are telling air moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas, but you have to understand here which causing this pressure difference in the nature, how the pressure is being different in different areas. So because of this pressure difference we are telling air moving from one place to another place and which we are calling as winds. But which is causing this difference in the pressures on the land at different places in the nature? Let us try to understand this with certain activities. Let us try to understand whether a difference in the temperature also involved in this causing pressure difference on the land. So let us try to understand this, the effect of pressure or the difference in the pressure in the different areas, whether it is causing the pressure difference or not with these simple activities. Okay, take an incense stick and light it. What happens then? Try to observe what is happening then. Observe the smoke of the incense stick rises up, isn't it? What is the direction of the incense stick you keep? Smoke from that stick rises directly up. What is the reason for this? So the incense stick releasing warm air in the form of smoke. This is a warm air. We know warm air is a lighter in density and it moves up. That is the reason why the smoke appears moving always up in the upward direction. Okay, because hot air moves up because hot air is lighter in density than the cool air. That's why always hot air moves up, hot air rises up. Observations from these above activities indicate that warm air always rises up. Also, it is important to remember that on heating the air, it expands and occupies more space. That from the above activity, in the previous activity, we observed that when balloon is made to heat, it bulges out because the air inside that expands and causes more pressure on the walls of the balloon from inside. So that causes to enlarge. So from this activity we can say air on heating it expands and occupies more space. And and the other activity indicates us hot air rises up or warm air rises up. When something occupies more space, it becomes less in density. So we are telling here hot air expands and occupies more space. So the warm air is therefore less dense than cool air. Thus, smoke and hot air always rises up because of this reason. Because hot air or smoke they become warm and they expand and occupies more space. As they're occupying more space, they become less in density. So the lighter, denser particle substances always rise up. That's why this smoke and hot air always go up or rise up. Okay, these are the reasons for those. When the air rises up, air pressure at that place becomes low. And you have many kinds of winds as air comes into that occupy area of that low pressure. So we are telling here hot air rises up. So when the hot air from a particular place rises up, what happens in that area? Low pressure is created. As low pressure is created in that area, air from different places, that means in the form of winds, air from different places comes to occupy that place of low pressure that causes winds. So the differential heating of land and water by the sun leads to the land and sea breezes. Okay, because of this reason, air moves from one place to other place. So from this we can say there is effect of temperature in winds. So suppose at a particular place the temperature is high. In that area, air becomes light in density and rises up. So when it rises up in that area, pressure becomes less. Low pressure is created. And in the other areas, if the pressure is high, means if the pressure temperature is cool in that area, the air will be high density and it won't be moved up. So the pressure of the air will be high in that area when compared to this. So air moves from higher pressure areas to low pressure areas. So that causes winds. Okay, this is the reason for causing these land breeze and sea breezes also. Okay, the land heats up faster than the sea, isn't it? So warm air rises up over the land during the day as it is warmed by the sun. So suppose it is sea and it is land. We know land heats up faster than the water. So in the daytime what happens? This land becomes hotter. The air on this land becomes warmer and rises up in this way. At certain times of year, the this can create a sea breeze. What happens now? This warm air rises up, and here low pressure area is created. But on the sea, the air still is being cool. So here the pressure is greater than this area. We know air moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas in this direction. These breezes are called sea breeze because these winds are moving from cooler sea area to hotter land area. So as these winds are coming from sea, these are called sea breezes. So this is called sea breeze. This is because land heats up faster than water. As land is becoming warmer, the air in that area also becomes hot and rises up. So here it creates a low pressure area, and the air on the water is being still cooler, and there will be pressure more when compared to this. So the air from this area rushes up to the low pressure area. This causes sea breezes. Okay, in the reverse way. At the night time, the land cools faster than the sea. So cooling also will be faster in the case of land. It cools faster. So now the sea is still warmer. Here, the pressure is low because the air on this water will be still warmer and it rises up. When it rises up, here, low pressure area is created on the ocean oceans. Now, this land is cooled faster here. The air on this land also will be cooler. Now, here, pressure will be greater when compared to this area. Then what happens? The cool air from the land rushes onto the water where low pressure is created already. So as these cool breezes are coming from the land to the sea, these breezes are called land breezes. Okay, this blows out to the sea as it is created here low pressure. In this way, sea breeze and land breezes are caused because of the temperature difference and the pressure, air pressure difference. Okay, now let us see the effects of moving air with certain activities. First, let us see one activity here. In that, let us try take a glass and a postcard. If you take a glass and postcard, now keep this glass on a table and the postcard on the glass. See how it is shown here. First, we have to keep a glass on the table and keep a postcard on this glass. Now, wave your hand or a notebook above the postcard to displace the air just above the postcard. So, like this, your hand or a postcard, just if you wave on the postcard to move the air on the postcard, then what happens here? Low pressure is created. Then we can observe the postcard lifts up from the glass. This is because when we move your hand or postcard on the postcard to move the air, so that the air will be moved away from on the above the postcard. This creates low pressure on this, and hence the paper lifts up due to the high pressure on the paper from air in the glass. So inside the glass, the air has more pressure now than on the above the card. Then what happens? The air from the glass pushes the postcard up because this air inside, which is having greater pressure, will try to come to this area where pressure is low. That's why this postcard will be pushed up by the air in the glass. So this proves that air will try to move from high pressure area to low pressure area. Okay, it is simple activity which proves this. What I have done here, first we have taken a glass, kept on the table, and we kept a postcard on that. Now we have to wave our hand or a notebook just above the postcard to move the air to the sides. Okay, to make the moment of air on the postcard. This creates a low pressure on the postcard. By that immediately the air inside the glass pushes up the postcard to come out because air will try to move from low pressure area to high pressure area to low pressure area. Okay, let us see one more activity. Now let us set the one more activity here. See, we have to wet the edges of the glass with water and you have to stick the postcard to it. Now it will be stick because of the wet edges, and hold the glass inverted with your left hand as shown here, and move your right hand or a notebook just below the postcard to move air from the under the paper. Now what happens here? Under the cardboard or paper, low pressure is created as we have moved this air from this place. So low pressure area is created here. Then we can observe that the postcard falls down. Even though it is stick to the glass, it starts falling down. Because here, as we have moved this postcard or our hand, low pressure area is created here. But still, inside the glass, high pressure is maintained. So when compared to the pressure here, the pressure down the cord is low. Now, air starts moving from high pressure area to low pressure area, and hence it pushes the postcard down. Thus, it falls down. So the air inside the glass pushes the paper out and makes the paper falls down. Okay, this is because air moves from high pressure area to low pressure area. From these two activities, we can conclude that air moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas on causing winds. Okay, this is a cause for winds. So here, from these all activities, we can say there is effect of temperature also. The difference in the temperature at different places causes movement of air, because different temperatures causes different air pressures. The place where the temperature is high, there air pressure will be low. Why? Because there the air becomes warm and rises up and creates low pressure area in that place. So from the place where the high pressure is air pressure is maintained, air blows from that area to this low pressure area, which is causing winds. Okay. Now let us see what is the cause, what is the effect of this uneven heating on the earth. How winds are created from the uneven heating on the earth. We have discussed the cause of winds in areas near the large water bodies, including seas and oceans, with the concepts of land breeze and sea breeze, isn't it? Now, let us try to find out the reasons for the different areas have different temperatures. Okay, let us try to find what causes the different temperatures in different areas. Uneven heating takes place on the surface of the earth. There are number of reasons for this, isn't it? At certain places heat will be more, and in certain places the temperature will be very low. So for this there are different reasons. Let us try to understand what are the reasons for this difference in the different temperatures at different places. Okay, first let us go through uneven heating between the equator and the poles. This is one reason. Uneven heating between the equator and poles on the earth. You might have learnt in geography that the region close to the equator gets more heat from the sun. This is because of the direction of the sunlight being straight close to the equator, isn't it? So, the region close to equator gets more heat from the sun. See here, so the equator place gets sunlight directly overhead on this. So this area will get more sunlight and more heat from the sun. So it becomes warmer than the polar regions. Suppose sun is here. So the sunlight will go in the slant position to the equators. But to the equator position, it falls directly. So it becomes more warmer than the polar regions. Okay. The air in these regions get warmer because of this. The warm air rises up. Okay, as air in this area becomes more warmer, it rises up, and the cooler air from the polar regions. So these regions are somewhat cooler than the equator region. So here the air will be somewhat cooler than this area air. Now this cool air moves from these polar regions to the equator region. Okay, the warm air rises and the cooler air from the polar regions on the either sides of the equator moves in. This causes wind. So, so this is one of the reasons for the winds. Uneven heating between the equator and the poles. This movement of air sets forth winds that moves over the earth. We have also seen that the increased wind speed is accompanied by a reduced air pressure and this aids rains. Yes. So increase wind speed. As we have studied that as the difference between the air pressure increases, wind speed also increases and thus it causes rains also. Let us try to understand how winds are produced and how they bring rain and how they can be destructive also sometimes. Okay, how winds are produced actually and how these winds are helping in bringing the rains, and even the same winds are when some often sometimes they cause destruction also. So how these all are being happened, let us see now. First let us see uneven heating of land and water. We have read about the sea breeze and the land breezes, isn't it? When sea becoming still warmer at the night time, the warm air from the sea or oceans rises up, and there it creates low pressure, whereas land will be already cooled at that time. So, cool air from the land moves to the oceans or seas. This is called land breeze. In the hot time, or in the daytime, or in the summer season, land becomes warmer faster, and still oceans or sea will be cooler. Now, on the land, pressure will be reduced because their air rises up. Now, the cool breeze from the oceans and seas moves to the land, that is called sea breeze. So, about this we have seen just now. Now, in summer, near the equator, the land heats up faster, and during the day, the temperature of the land is higher than the water in the ocean, isn't it? We know land heats up faster than the water. So in the summer season, in the daytime, this becomes hotter. Now the air over the land gets heated and rises up. It goes up. This causes the winds to flow from oceans towards the land. So in this way, cool air comes to the lands. These are called monsoon winds. This is usual during the months of June and September. So in these months, land becomes warmer and hotter. So the air in this area becomes hot and rises up. It creates low pressure on this land. Now the cool breeze from the oceans moves to the land. They are called monsoon winds. This is generally observed in June month to September months in our country. On the other hand, the direction of the wind flow gets usually reversed in the months from December to the March month. The wind flows from the land to ocean as the sea cools more slowly. So, in these months, the temperature is very low and land cools very faster than the water. So, water will be still warmer, and hence, here low pressure air is created because warmer air moves up. Now, cool air from the lands moves to the oceans. This is called land breeze. Okay, these cool winds moves slowly to the water. The winds from the oceans carry water and bring rains. Okay, as this air present on the oceans and rivers becoming warm, this carries water and brings rain. Farmers in our country depend mainly on the rains for their harvesting, isn't it? Yes. We can also generate electricity energy from the high speed winds. Thus, we can see the usefulness of winds in our life. So, in this way, the difference in the air pressure causing winds, and these winds are causing these rains and dissolve. So, these winds are being useful to us in this way. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel Aims Today and visit our website aimstoday.in for latest updates on recorded videos.